today we're going to look at the 10 most relevant quotes from business leaders that will help you to launch your business and also move forward in your business life.
Awesome. So we're going to start with Oprah Wimphrey, and we all love her, and what she has to say is amazing. Have a look.
You will find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you. The single most important lesson I learned in 25 years talking every single day to people was that there's a common denominator in our human experience. We want to be validated. We want to be understood. I've done over 35,000 interviews in my career. And as soon as that camera shuts off, everyone always turns to me and inevitably in their own way asks this question: was that okay? I heard it from President Bush. I heard it from President Obama. I've heard it from heroes and from housewives. I've heard it from victims and perpetrators of crimes. I even heard it from Beyonce and all of her Beyonce-ness. Friends and family, yours, enemies, strangers, in every argument, in every encounter, every exchange, I will tell you, they all want to know one thing: was that okay? Did you hear me? Do you see me? Did what I say mean anything to you? My hope is that you will try to go out and have more face-to-face conversations with people you may disagree with. That you'll have the courage to look them in the eye and hear their point of view, and help make sure that the speed and distance and anonymity of our world doesn't cause us to lose our ability to stand in somebody else's shoes and recognize all that we share as a people. This is imperative for you as an individual and for our success as a nation. So whether you call it soul or spirit or higher self, intelligence, there is, I know this, there's a light inside each of you, all of us, that illuminates your very human beingness if you let it. And as a young girl from rural Mississippi, I learned long ago that being myself was much easier than pretending to be Barbara Walters. Although when I first started, because I had Barbara in my head, I would try to sit like Barbara, talk like Barbara, move like Barbara. And then one night I was on the news, reading the news, and I called Canada, Canada. And that was the end of me being Barbara. I cracked myself up on TV, couldn't stop laughing, and my real personality came through. And I figured out, oh gee, I can be a much better Oprah than I could be a pretend Barbara.
You've got to love Oprah. Fantastic. Number 9, we've got Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple and many Pixar, many other companies as well. And he's got this incredible thought process. Watch this.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up.
Fantastic, fantastic advice. And now we're going to go into number 8. And number 8, we have Pierre Ombiar from eBay, which has this great advice.
So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things. That's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on to the next experience. And don't let people who you may respect and who you believe know what they're talking about, don't let them tell you it can't be done. Because often they will tell you it can't be done. And It's just because they don't have the courage to try.
Fantastic. And now at number 7, we've got Guy Kawasaki, formerly of Apple and one of the biggest influencers in social media, even now, an amazing speaker and thought leader. But let's take a look at what he says here.
When it comes to changing the world, what I learned from Steve Jobs is, if you believe in a Macintosh, if you believe in iPhone, iPod, iPad, if you believe enough, then you will see it. Because other people will believe in it. Other people will create software. Other people will create products. So you need to foster the belief in what you are dreaming so that it becomes a reality, which is very different than saying, I don't expect anybody to believe it until I see it. You need people to believe it before they can see it.
I love Guy Kawasaki. I mean, his books, I mean, his blog, his videos are phenomenal. I recommend you to watch them in YouTube. And now I want to also talk about one of my favorite speakers, which recently, I mean, I was watching some pictures of him and Richard Branson, and I always get incredibly inspired by number 6, Simon Sinek. Have a look.
I found myself at a meeting once. It was actually a social event held at an organization, and I was talking to one of the guys and telling him about the stuff that I do, and he says, you've got to tell the boss. And I said, okay. And so he walks me over to the big guy, and he doesn't even make an introduction. He just leaves me standing there and walks away. And the guy turns to me and goes, who are you? Now, if I wasn't starting with why, I'd say, hi, my name is Simon, and I have a consultancy, and I speak and I teach, and I'm an author, and I go through all the things that I've done and all the people I've worked with and maybe some of my clients, all in an attempt to tell him who I am and why he should listen to me. But then he would have just sort of pointed to the chips and said, nice to meet you, you know? But I didn't say that. I looked him in the eye and I said, I wake up every single day to inspire people to do what inspires them. And I know that your company is trying to increase the amount of customers it's getting in one particular sector, and the question is, are you inspiring people to do it? Because the only way people will give you loyalty is if you inspire them to do so. I teach leaders and organizations how to inspire people. And that's all I said. I didn't tell him what I did, I didn't tell him who I knew, I didn't tell him any of my clients. And he said to me, he looks over to me and says, do you have a business card? And I handed them a business card and I told them all the details later. Don't forget, a why doesn't close the deal. It just opens it. It allows people in. It gives context. You know, all of these things need to work together. Why you do what you do, how you do things, and what you do. I don't for 1 second believe the why is more important than any of the other pieces. It's just the place we have to start, and it's also the place we so often forget to even include. So learning to start with why really is, especially in a business context, when you're interviewing for a job or pitching your services to someone, it really is remarkable. I get so many letters from people, you know, all excited that they went into a pitch or they went into a job interview and they started with why, and they were so excited that not only did they get the job, but the person who hired them actually said, we love ... and they repeat their why back to them. They don't talk about their qualifications or any of these things. In other words, it really does drive human behavior. And the more you get good at it, the more you start to feel and see the results of starting with why.
And now the most notorious of all the speakers, because he's a bit of a sweary Mary and a potty mouth, but you gotta love him because every question on the planet has been answered at some point by Gary Vaynerchuk. And Gary Vaynerchuk really needs no introduction apart from he's just Gary V. Take a look. Number 5.
Have the conversation with the person that's holding you back. The reason most people who are listening right now are not doing that thing is they're worried about the opinion of somebody. I am so devastated that you actually let your grandma's point of view, your mom, your dad, your sister, your aunt, you still let somebody else dictate based on their opinion every action you do, and it's your life. The reason I'm super happy is nobody can tell me nothing. My wife, mom, and daughter could walk into my room right now, tell me I'm a piece of crap, and I would be 100% unfazed. That is some gangster emotional structure. If you're not feeling it, find new friends. I'm being dead serious about this. This one is real big for me. The only way I've seen, now that I'm older, that you can build confidence is if you surround yourself with people that are optimistic. Start trimming your friend group and start adding to your friend group predicated on what you want to be. Like, it's unbelievable what happened to me when I got into the Silicon Valley world and started meeting like Mark Zuckerberg and like Ev Williams and like Travis. Like, it changed my life. Everybody in this room needs to cut out as much of the noise and time with people that are negative and spend as much time with people that are positive. The people you spend time with are the ones that dictate your mindset. Yeah. You can limit your time with your mom. You can limit your time with your best friend. You could tell your girlfriend or husband to go fuck themselves. Yeah. You fucking roll up on your dad, your mom, your sister and say, fuck you, I'm out. Because you're fucking toxic, I'll see you in 6 years if you figure out why the fuck I left. You're accepting to be in that relationship. If you feel motivated by this conversation or you're intrigued by it, add one new winner friend. Like, you know what I mean? Add one new winner friend and cut one loser friend.
I feel like even when I give it away and I don't speak to them, the chatter of them talk like
that means that means you value their opinion.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Please let this be the video that drills through your head that your life is predicated on when you get real quiet and you can't hear another fucking person's 2 cents that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with where they are in life. Are you really gonna let those 8 or 9 people dictate your life? Because you are so fearful of judgment from others that at the end of the day, when you're 87, you will not give a fuck about.
I love Gary Vee. I mean, I have seen him a couple of times. Also, you have seen him a couple of times, and he's just amazing, isn't he? So now we're going to go into number 4. And number 4 is Reid Hoffman, the CEO and the creator of LinkedIn. Let's see what he has to say.
One of the things I advise entrepreneurs to do is when you have an idea, a classic entrepreneurial impulse is to hold the idea close to you and not go tell people because, oh, the idea is so special.
Right.
That's almost always a mistake. Go talk to
Why is that a mistake? Yeah.
It's a mistake because your actual real competitive advantage is not that you have this idea that you have locked away in your closet, which may or may not be accurate and you have no idea which it is. Your actual competitive advantage is if you're assembling the intelligence around, does this idea work? What is the right teams? What is the right learnings? And we're essentially in motion.
That's so true. Next one, short and sweet, coming from Lukey, who's the creator of Oculus Rift. And I love what he says because it's just exactly on the nose.
I do think that one thing that's important is, especially if you're a founder or a technical founder, is to realize that you can't do everything. And even if you can, you shouldn't.
Cool. I had no clue what Oculus Rift is, so possibly you can enlighten me. Great advice, but I have no clue what that is.
Oculus Rift is one of the 3D things that you put on and you can see what's going on in the world. It's virtual
I get it. Now I understand better the message. Awesome. Okay, now number 2, and also I had a chance to meet him when he was completely unknown. He speaks perfectly Spanish and he's incredibly inspiring. So on number 2, we have the message from Tim Ferris. Have a look.
Optimism has a place, but I think even more so for the first-time entrepreneur, you need to be pragmatically pessimistic. What I mean by that is, you need to define all of the worst case scenarios in terms of financial loss, time loss, etc. Look at what you will learn if that happens and accept and come to terms with that before you ever start. If you don't do that and you go straight into battling the world, trying to conquer the world with rose-colored glasses on, the first time you hit a major hiccup, you're going to become really demoralized and you will quit.
Tim Ferris creates a 4-hour work week and many other ways of just cheating on your schedule and having a much better life. I love him. Right, the number 1, I think, for inspiration and really for almost any part of business and life and as they merge together is Maya Angelou. And it feels right that you've got a woman dominating this list of really big hitters because she said something that's always resonated with me. She says this: I've learned that people will forget what you said. People forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Our number 1, Maya Angelou. Love her. Brilliant.
Absolutely amazing. Dave, once again, you did a great job putting this list together.
Thank you.
Well, amazing enough, we are out of time.
Thanks for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you watch all the videos over here. There's 2 choices for you. Or, of course, I'm Dave Crane coming from Dubai.
And this is Ernesto Verdugo coming from Houston.
And I think we should send a message. Hold on.
What is this?
subscribe.